Now the second topic that we have taken today is Arth Ganga model. Arth Ganga model. Now Ganga is the most pious of all the rivers in India. Ganga is having a lot of cultural, religious, economic, socio-political value in India. Okay. A lot of one important fact that we can talk about is the 40% of irrigated area in India is around the Ganga basin. The 40% of around half of the irrigated area of India is in the Gangetic basin. Okay. Gangetic basin, river Ganga is the lifeblood of this whole Gangetic plain that stretches from the north in like Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is of course not a plain, it is a mountainous area. Wherever like from Haridwar we can believe, yes, because from Haridwar Ganga descends from the mountains to the plains. From that all the way up to Bengal, where it falls into the Bay of Bengal. That whole area can be considered what? That whole area can be considered immensely dependent upon what? River Ganga for its economic activities. Okay, and we have seen that not only economic, socio-political, economic, religious and cultural value associated with Ganga is immensely large in Indian context, because we know that Ganga is considered the most pure river of, like most pious river of India. It is used for like incremation of people, or matlab, incineration of a lot of dead people in Hindu fold. They use the river Ganga. Okay, and a lot of other civilizational value also. The kind of civilization like Patliputra, Magad, and all the civilization that arose on the banks of Ganga. So Ganga is one of the most important river of India. Okay. Now, why we are talking about it? Because recently there was a World Water Week conference held in Stockholm. Okay, and in that conference, India's representative talked about Arth Ganga, and that is why we are talking about this Arth Ganga. Okay. Now, why water? Water is the very fundamental thing to our existence, right? And the Sustainable Development Goal 6 talks about universal access to drinking water. Basically, not only drinking water, universal access to water. Basically, clean water and sanitation. Okay. Sanitation is also a very huge problem that affects the low income and middle income countries. Now, India is gradually moving from very poor sanitation infrastructure to a better one, right? In the past 5 to 10 years, we have made great strides into that field. Now, SDG 6 talks about universal access to drinking water. Not only drinking water, but also sanitation, as we talked about, improve water quality and reduce pollution. Okay, protect and preserve water-related ecosystems. SDG 6 is this. These are the related fields that we are concerned about. Now, World Water Week started in 1991, and it was initially part of Public Water Festival in Swedish capital of Stockholm. Okay, Stockholm International Water Institute (CV) is the organizer of this international conference, and the theme, very important, the most important top point here in this slide at least, is the theme for World Water Week 2022 is seeing the unseen, the value of water. Seeing the unseen, the value of water. The theme will look at three main areas. The first will be the value of water. The second will be the climate change and its impact on water. And the third will be the financial value of water or economic value of water. Okay. The first one will be value of water among the people and for development, of course. Okay. The value of water with respect to nature and climate. Okay. And the third will be the value of water with respect to the finances and economic conditions. Okay. Now, Ganga river has always been also a very important political issue. Okay, because the amount of pollution that Ganga has or the Yamuna has, all the northern rivers actually have a great deal of pollution because of a lot of dependence of people and their economic activities on these rivers. Okay, that is why these rivers are facing immense pressure. Plus, these areas are also very fertile, due to which a lot of fertilizer is being used, and that fertilizer is washed away into the rivers, which causes eutrophication of these rivers. Okay. The third important point is A lot of tanneries are situated on the bank. Basically, a lot of industries are situated on the bank of these rivers because of the easy accessibility of water. And water is one of the very fundamental component of manufacturing industries, most importantly the leather manufacturing industries of Kanpur. Okay, so all these are very polluting industries. Okay, like the leather tanneries of Kanpur are discharging very harmful like tanning chemicals that they use for tanning the leather. Okay, and they are discharged as effluents into the river untreated. When this water gets into the river, it destroys its biodiversity, it changes its chemical composition, heavy metals are discharged into the river, which leads to killing of fish and all. Okay, to protect that, what happened was in 1986, for the first time, now Environmental Protection Act also came in 1986. Environmental Protection Act also came in 1986. That is an important consideration. The Congress government launched the first phase of Ganga Action Plan. Okay, they launched the first phase of Ganga Action Plan. Okay, right? And selected stretches of 20 to 25 cities in UP, Bihar and West Bengal, because most of the pollution is happening in UP, Bihar and West Bengal. But important point is, this plan was not a river basin plan. What is a river basin plan? The first plan is river plan, the second plan is river basin. River basin includes river basin. For example, if this is a river, okay, if this is a river, river basin will include all the area, watershed, its irrigated area and all the area around it. Okay, so this will become the river basin. Okay, river basin. But Ganga Action Plan was not a river basin plan. It was not a river basin plan, right? Then, and it was focused on the specific, it was basically focused on the point of treating the point of pollution, point source of pollution, like specific industries, specific polluting factors. They were treating those. In 1993, Ganga Action Plan 2 was launched. Ganga Action Plan 1 was actually a complete failure. Then Ganga Action Plan 2 was launched, which included the tributaries also. Now we are gradually switching from river action plan to river basin action plan, because we are also including its tributaries. Okay, Damodar, Gomti and Mahanadi, right? Then in 2009, from 1993 to 2009, Ganga Action Plan 2 also did not create any viable outcomes, and hence it was also a failure. It was failure because two important things. The first one was the whole plan of cleaning Ganga river was not a holistic one. It was focused on the sources of pollution. It was not in holistic development of Ganga river. Okay, holistic cleaning of Ganga river. Then came 2009, government relaunched its Ganga Action Plan, giving Ganga the status of national river. It reconstituted Ganga Action Plan with the National Ganga River Basin Authority. Now NGRBA, National Ganga River Basin Authority, was constituted under which act? Under Environmental Protection Act 1986. Under Environmental Protection Act 1986. Okay, it was constituted in 2009 with cleaning of entire river basin. Now we can see a very clear switch from the half-hearted river basin plan to entire river basin plan. Now the government seems to have focused on cleaning the entire river basin itself. Okay, the Modi government then in 2014 launched the Namami Gange project. It was the whole Ganga. There was a lot of noise around Ganga cleaning, and then this Namami Gange project was launched with massive fund allocation of around 20,000 crore rupees. Okay, massive for rejuvenation of the river. Rejuvenation means to rejuvenate, means to make the river alive again. And in 2016, the National Ganga River Basin Authority was abolished. It was dissolved, and National Ganga Council was formed. National Ganga Council was formed. National Ganga River Basin Authority and National Ganga Council both were headed by the Prime Minister. Okay, and now A lot of changes have been done. We'll be studying the Namami Gange program as to how it functions, what its aim is, what is the financial mechanism and everything. Okay. Now this is the Namami Gange program. The main aim is to reduce pollution and conserve and rejuvenate the Ganga river. Reduce pollution, both point source and non-point source. Okay. Point source and non-point source means point source is the specific target that we are, the specific industry or the specific city that we are targeting, right? Like a city has a discharge of untreated sewage water into Ganga river, then it will become point source. Industry, some specific industry or specific manufacturing facility is discharging effluents into the river directly without treating them, then it will become a point source of pollution. Whereas non-point source of pollution, like the field runoff of fertilizers, for example, that will, field runoff means it will be not causing pollution from one point source, it will be causing pollution from a greater area, okay, and that will become the non-point source. So the main aim of Namami Gange program is, it is actually twofold. The first one is Aviral Dhara and the second one is Nirmal Dhara. The first one is Aviral Dhara and the second one is Nirmal Dhara. Aviral Dhara means, Aviral Dhara means, the aim of Aviral Dhara is to maintain consistency of the flow, that it is, the flow is not hindered. Okay, for that important thing will be a specific minimum level of water is maintained throughout the course of the river. The biggest hurdle to that is a lot of dams that have been created in the course of the river, because dams store water, they prohibit the water from flowing. Okay, so that creates the hurdle in this Aviral Dhara. Aviral means non-stop. Okay, Aviral Dhara. The second one is Nirmal Dhara. Nirmal means clear. Nirmal Dhara means, of course, to reduce pollution and rejuvenate it. So these two are very important points that we have to focus upon. The first one is Aviral Dhara, that is a specific minimum amount of water is always flowing in the river, because flow of the river is very important to keep the river clean. Otherwise, it will stagnate and it will start eutrophication and a lot of problems. As we already say that the stagnant water creates stench. Okay, so that is because a lot of microbial action starts, but the flowing water will not create stench. Flowing water is life-giving. Now, National Mission for Clean Ganga. Okay, this Namami Gange program has a sub-program, that is National Mission for Clean Ganga, NMCG. It is being implemented by Ministry of Jal Shakti. Ministry of Jal Shakti was constituted in 2019 by merging two important ministries. The first one is Ministry of Water Resource, River Development and Ganga Regeneration, and Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. Okay, so these two ministries were merged and Ministry of Jal Shakti was created in May 2019. Now for all these things, for all the implementation of this National Mission for Clean Ganga, we need a lot of money. What we did was we took loan from World Bank. Now World Bank's main objective is what? Reduction of poverty and financial development in the lower and middle income group countries, right? So what the World Bank did was it lends at low rates. What we did, Government of India took loan of $400 million from World Bank. With the maturity period, the total pay period for this loan is 23.5 years. Okay, grace period of 5 years and maturity period of 18.5 years. Like for 5 years, we do not have to pay the loan back or the interest back. After 5 years, we will have to pay the loan in 18.5 years, the loan and interest both. Okay, so by June 2014, the total expenditure on the conservation cleaning of Ganga river is around 20,000 crore rupees. Okay, but we cannot see any tangible outcome in the situation of in Ganga river, as it is still very polluted. So that means all this expense has not been able to lead to any tangible outcomes in the situation of Ganga river. Now that National Mission for Clean Ganga or Namami Gange program aims to change that. Okay. Now for that, National Mission for Clean Ganga has a very detailed outline as to how it has to be implemented. There are basically 6 pillars for this National Mission for Clean Ganga. The first one is sewage treating infrastructure. For every city there should be at least, that is on the bank of river Ganga, there would be at least one, like a specified quantity in liters, a sewage treatment plant will be there. No water shall be discharged in the river without being treated. Okay, because this sewerage, this creates a lot of pollution in the river in the form of coliform levels. Coliform levels are specific bacteria which are contained in the human feces. So that needs to be put out of the river, because that changes the biochemistry of the river and hence the biodiversity of the river. Similarly, riverfront development. Okay, this photo is specifically taken from this actually is the riverfront of Sabarmati river in Ahmedabad. Okay, so riverfront development means creating ghats, creating embankments inside the cities and all. Okay, this leads to lesser erosion around the city banks and protects the city for the first, and then also creates recreational value for the people living around the river. Okay, and then they can feel more connected to the river when they come at these places for recreational activities. Then industrial effluent treating plants. Industrial effluent treating plant means these treating plants which will treat the industrial effluent, the chemical that are coming from tanneries, for example in Kanpur, and then the harmful chemicals will be removed from water in these treatment plants, and then that water will be discharged into the river so that the pollution is minimized. Okay, then comes riverside afforestation. Now, why riverside afforestation? Forests are very important for the survival of the river. Okay, because forests act as a niche, a specific niche between two ecosystems. The first one is river ecosystem, the second one is land ecosystem. The forests on the banks of the river, around the banks of the river, not only act as sponges, sponges in the sense that it absorbs water. When there is rainfall, it absorbs water, and hence it stops the sudden flow of water into the river. It can also help in protecting floods. Secondly, it can help in help against the destruction of embankments by the river in case of floods and all. Okay. And secondly, trees also absorb a lot of harmful chemicals from ground, from the river as well. Okay. So it is very important. It is very important that the afforestation around the river banks is done. Okay, that creates a border, specific border between what the land ecosystem and the river ecosystem, and that helps protect by trapping a lot of pollutants within the land ecosystem, not letting them flow into the river ecosystem. And of course, biodiversity conservation, because biodiversity, the biodiversity that this river has, it helps in maintaining a very pure sustainable water inside that river. Okay, that is why, like, this has been critically endangered Gangetic river dolphin, as we see here. So it is also important that we conserve the biodiversity. And then Ganga grams, all the villages on the banks of river Ganga, they will have to set up specific sewage treatment plant, open defecation free villages they will be made. Okay, and all these facilities, so that these villages are not contributing to the pollution of river Ganga. Okay, so that Aviral Dhara and Nirmal Dhara can be maintained, right? So these are the 6 pillars of NMCG. Now in 2019, in one of the meeting of National Ganga Council, Prime Minister espoused the idea of Arth Ganga. Moving from Clean Ganga to Arth Ganga. Clean Ganga is cleaning the river. Arth means economy. Arth Ganga means attaching livelihood of people and economy of the people around the river to the river. That is important. Okay. The first one is zero budget natural farming. All the villages that are on the bank of the river, they will be following the zero budget natural farming, that no use of chemicals. Because as I said in the very beginning, these chemical runoffs, fertilizer runoffs, they create eutrophication inside the river. Okay. Monetization and reuse of sludge and wastewater. All these cities that are located on the banks of this river, they can monetize actually by selling the sludge. It is called night soil. When the sludge and the sewage is treated, the outcome of that sludge treatment is night soil. Actually, it can be used as a fertilizer, organic fertilizer. So cities can monetize upon that, and the municipal corporation of the cities can earn from that also. Livelihood generation opportunities in the form of specific tourism activities being promoted in the around the river and all. Okay. Then public participation in the conservation of the river. When they will participate in the conservation of the river, they will understand the value of the river, and they will understand the value of the economic importance of the river in their livelihoods, and then they can also make utilization of the river. Okay. Promote the cultural heritage and tourism of Ganga. It is and empowering local administration for improved water governance by including the people. Local administration in third level of governance, that is gram panchayats basically. Okay, including that also. So these are the pillars of Arth Ganga, and in the pursuit of this Arth Ganga project, government has also released a master plan for our Arth Ganga. Like this is UP, this is Bihar, and then Bengal. Okay, so you can see that Nautanwa, Raxaul, Nepal, and Biratnagar, Nepal. What we can see here is these are small community jetties. Okay, and these are floating terminals, multimodal terminals. We can see that multimodal terminals can be established along the banks of Ganga, like National Waterway 1 from Allahabad to Haldia, and all the trade from Nepal can also take place through this Ganga's path. Okay, National Waterway 1. Okay, that can also be utilized, along with creating multimodal terminals, along with creating small jetties for transportation inside on a very smaller scale, like for like 100 to 50 kilometers ke beech mein, we can start RO jetties, RO jetties, what we call. Okay, so that means the whole point is that we need to utilize Ganga to improve the economic condition of the people living around the Ganga, so that they can understand its importance and contribute to the cleaning of Ganga, contribute to making this or keeping this river clean, pollution free. Okay, I hope you understood this. This was very important and interesting as well. If you have any specific comments, any specific issues with this topic, kindly reach me out in the comment section. I will be more than happy to take them. Okay, now we have a question. It is from 2016 prelims. Which of the following are key features of National Ganga River Basin Authority? Although this authority has now been dissolved, it was dissolved in 2016 and National Ganga Council was formed. Okay, river basin is the unit of planning and management, that is correct. It spearheads the river conservation efforts at the national level. National Ganga River Basin Authority was basically a coordinating body, and then it is also correct. One of the chief ministers of states through which the Ganga flows becomes the chairman of NGRBA on rotation basis. Actually, the chairman of NGRBA is Prime Minister. Okay, so only 1 and 2 are correct. Okay, so I believe you understood that.